For over a year now, trainers have been asking for a player versus player mode in Pokemon Go. PvP is something I'm super interested in since I believe it would give Pokemon Go that competitive endgame content that it currently lacks. After a year of waiting for Niantic to act, I believe I have come up with a system that could supplement our desires in the form of Pseudo-PvP. In Pseudo-PvP, rather than fighting each other directly, trainers compete indirectly by fighting each other's gyms. While other player versus player tournaments have existed in the past involving this concept, usually revolving around gym teardown race or controlling a gym for the longest time, Pseudo-PvP has one major difference. Trainers are restricted to using the same Pokemon on attack as they used on defense, and vice versa. Additionally, rather than using a team of 6 to fight a gym of 6 Pokemon, both sides are restricted to 3. Pseudo-PvP functions a lot like BattleSpot singles from the console games. Each trainer will have 6 Pokemon, but will only use 3 per round. The first to win 2 rounds would be dubbed the winner. This 3v3 format emphasizes risk assessment, team balance, and skill more than raw power, which makes for more satisfying and intense battles. Additionally, 3v3 format makes it easier to organize since each team would only need 3 players rather than 6 to pull off the illusion of PvP. 3 players on each team? That's right, this is Pseudo-PvP, fam. The one catch is that since you alone cannot build a personal gym for your opponent to fight, you'll need 2 other players to act as your Pokemon. If you want a more team experience, you could rotate who the attacker is each round, giving all 3 members a shot to participate in the battle, rather than having them act solely as your surrogate gym defenders. Alternatively, you could have 2 alt accounts made specifically for this format. Before each round, each team of 3 people will select 3 Pokemon from their pool of 6 to act as their personal gym and as their attackers. The 3 Pokemon you're putting in your personal gym will be the same 3 species of Pokemon you're using to fight your opponent's gym with. As a result, you'll want a balance of Pokemon that are strong attackers as well as strong defenders. Note, at least one person on your team needs to have the same 3 Pokemon on their account with the same moveset. Choose Pokemon that you have in common when building your teams. After each team has chosen their Pokemon, they will reveal their 3 Pokemon to each other. Then they decide who is defending first. The defending team will place their 3 Pokemon in the gym, and a selected member from the opposing team will attack the gym alone until it is defeated, using the same 3 species of Pokemon that their team agreed upon for this fight. After they've cleared the gym, they will then put the same 3 species of Pokemon that they used to attack the gym with in the gym as defenders. The team that started out defending will then designate their attacker, and they will attack this gym using the same 3 species of Pokemon that their team initially defended their gym with. So if you attacked with a Dragonite, Ampharos, and Tyranitar, those are the Pokemon you're going to be defending your gym with. Whichever team clears the whole gym the fastest, indicated by the start and end timers in the gym, or survived the longest, would win the round. At the end of each round, each team will then decide on the 3 species of Pokemon that they will use for the next round, and so on until one team wins 2 rounds. Rule number 1. No Blissey. Blissey can defeat most Pokemon faster than they can defeat it. As a result, Blissey would become a must-have for the format and would be used in every single round. The meta would dissolve to Blissey and 2 Blissey counters for every single fight. Teams not using Blissey would likely lose each fight. This effect is not observed with Snorlax and Chansey. Rule number 2. Species and moveset clause. The Pokemon used for defending the gyms must be the same species with the same moveset as the ones used for attacking. The purpose is to simulate the illusion of PvP. If we had true PvP, you'd be using the same species and movesets in the first place. Of course, players can tweak this rule to their liking, allowing for different defending and attacking movesets, but for competitive play, I feel the same moveset on the same Pokemon is a good standard to start with. Rule number 3, Order Clause. The Pokemon you use to attack the gym must be placed in your gym in the same order of appearance and vice versa. So if you were to lead your attack with Tyranitar, when it's your turn to defend, Tyranitar is up first. If you defend a gym with a Lapras first, then Lapras will be the first in your attacker lineup. Of course, you can switch attackers out once the fight has begun. After the first fight, changing the order up should be fine. Rule number 4, Level Clause. All Pokemon must be at or below an agreed upon level for the battle. My recommendations are levels 20 and 30. Level 20 is the Egg Hatch, Raid Catch base level, meaning players wouldn't have to dump a lot of candy and Stardust to prepare their teams. Level 30 might be seen as the gold standard for players who are truly invested in the format. However, I must inform you that there is very little difference in performance between 2 level 20s fighting and 2 level 30s fighting. The damage dealt is exactly the same, however the HP pools are smaller, meaning fights end more quickly and flub dodges are much more devastating. Rule number 5, no healing between fights. It takes 3 fights to defeat a gym. Between each of those fights, you cannot heal your team. Healing your team would just make this too easy. To clarify, this is between fights, not rounds. You may heal and revive between rounds. Rule number 6, no berries. Please do not give gym defenders berries during the fights. This interference may come from outside players. For this reason, players looking to engage in pseudo-PvP should pick a time and location that might not be trifled with, and have backup locations in mind. Additionally, it would be wise to not publicize your battle, since it may encourage other players to troll your efforts. If you want to publicize your PvP battles, I suggest recording them with a screen capture recorder, like a Z-Screen recorder, and then posting them online. While banning Blissey is a no-brainer, Dragonite is more iffy. While it is the best attacker in the game, it also has a wide variety of poor matchups. In theory, Dragonite does centralize the meta. If you're not using one, that's a burden taken off of your opponent's shoulders. If you're not prepared to fight against one, you will likely lose. The OP-ness of Dragonite hinges on the player's overall knowledge of the game and type matchups, which may make it less than ideal to battle for casual trainers. For these reasons, this rule is optional, and I suggest you explore it if Dragonite really starts to bog down the matchups. So yeah, that's the format, Pseudo-PvP. If you're interested in seeing what this looks like in action, there is a link in the description to my local area's test tournament for this format. You'll notice that side-by-side recordings of these battles, with excess time edited out and cool music added in, really does create the illusion of true PvP. Additionally, these test battles demonstrate the importance of dodging, as one flub dodge can easily change the tides of battle. This video is meant to be an introduction to the pseudo-PvP format. I plan on releasing videos later clarifying the format more, how pseudo-PvP can be done in a non-local format, and how teams from the same faction could even fight each other. Comment below and let me know what you think of the format, and any tips you might have on making it better. I know it's a far cry from what PvP should be, but I believe pseudo-PvP will be a good supplement until Niantic gets their act together. Given the accessibility of the format, perhaps a league could even be started. Only time will tell. Thanks for watching.